Hello, I'm a British person, and I'd like to talk about something a little different for once. Yes, I could probably talk about Cinderella 3 or Bambi 9 easily enough, but for once I'd just like to talk about something close to my heart. No, not incest. Disney World! As you're no doubt aware, the Disney parks have a lot of rides based on their most popular movies, and even some based on not so popular ones. Some of the rides even kind of count as miniature sequels, especially the theatre-based shows. So I'm not talking about Star Tours, which is a simulator, or Indiana Jones, which is tracked. I mean you, in a seat, staring at a screen. Sometimes you might be wearing 3D glasses, and sometimes your seats might inexplicably move. Other times it may be a combination of both. There is so much to look at, it's almost overwhelming. A lot of attractions use 3D and screens, so what counts as a ride and what counts as a show? If the screen moves with you, then it's a simulator. If the screen stays still and you move, it's a 4D cinema. If you're on a trek, it's a ride, but wait, Back to the Future was a simulator, even though the screen didn't move, ish. There are no real set rules, so how do I decide if something qualifies as a ride or a show? How do I know what to review?
Is it time for me to conveniently interrupt yet?
Some jerk with a camera, everybody! And no.
Well, I'm going to anyway. I think the solution to your idiotic little conundrum is actually relatively simple.
Oh?
Well, of course, it's a simulator if you're simulating motion. If you're supposed to be in a flying car like Back to the Future or a spaceship like Jimmy Neutron's Nicktoon Blast, then it's a ride. But if all you're doing is sitting in a movie theater watching a movie with cuts between camera angles like Mickey's PhilharMagic or Terminator 2 3D or... it's a 3D show.
So what about Honey, I Shrunk the Audience and It's Tough to Be a Bug? They're both movies that insinuate you're actually watching a stage show, so they have no camera angle changes. Oh dear, it looks like the Some Jerk animatronic has broken. Oh well, it's my show, I'll review whatever the fuck I want.
Okay, review this trash can.
Okay, well it's trashy and... canny...
Wrong! It is in fact Space Mountain!
What the fuck? This is Shameful sequels after all, so I guess I should only look at the not-so-good ones anyway. So that means I'm not going anywhere near Spider-Man, Transformers, Toy Story Mania or Soarin'.
Can I just say something?
I suppose.
I'd just like to point out that I already reviewed Captain EO and both Star Tours, so if you even hint at reviewing Captain EO or Star Tours, I will murder you and everyone you ever spoke to.
Star Tours is good.
Right, that's it. Time to start murdering, starting with the last person you spoke to.
Which is you.
Well played, Mike J.
And start by torturing yourself as well.
Yes, sir.
Seeing as I reviewed Honey, I Blew Up the Kid last time, it only makes sense for me to take a look at Honey, I Shrunk the Audience, a show which ran at Disneyland, Epcot and Disneyland Paris right up until the death of Michael Jackson, and they reintroduced Captain EO. Hey! The show kicked off with a lengthy pre-show, which was actually just a giant advert for Kodak. We were then led into the theatre where the show began. Apologies for the poor quality, but I couldn't exactly find these shows on DVD. The film is presented as if we, the audience, are watching the Inventor of the Year award presentation. The host of such ceremony is in fact played by Eric Idle, who together with Bill Nye and Martin Short appear in every single show in Epcot. Ish. The show is completely jam-packed with jump scares from start to finish, and admittedly they were quite effective, but there is some more subtle humour in there as well, at least.
Hello. Nice to see you. Bye-bye.
Wait.
Here we go again, Quark.
Well, bye, Diane. Why don't we meet the rest of the Professor's family, his two sons...
Except for Amy, who we will pretend doesn't exist following the first 5 minutes of Honey, I Blew Up the Kid. Nick and Adam have both brought their pets along with them, which I'm sure won't later lead to hijinks.
Insert item to be duplicated now.
Now, as I understand it, Nick, all you do is you drop the object into the chamber, you press the button, and Presto! It's so easy, even a child can do it. So now all we need is something to duplicate.
Commencing copy mode.
What?
I obviously just lied. So hijinks ensue and the audience's feet are tickled, meant to represent the mice. It's a good effect, but occasionally it would whip a little hard. Well, saucy. So they decide to scare off all the mice by... Makes perfect sense. Stop wasting time and get on with what we all came to do. Be shrunk. Come on!
But strange things can happen when you're the size of a cocktail weenie. Just ask my son Nick, he'll tell you about it.
Was that a penis joke? As is the tradition with Disney attractions, things go horribly, horribly wrong, and the audience and Nick are shrunk. It's now when a cool effect comes into play where the entire theatre shakes whenever there are footsteps or bangs. It was a great effect which added to the believability.
Is everything okay?
Honey, I shrunk the audience.
You what?
Did she not notice the entire audience were missing? We then have some more jump scares, including a toy camera and, of course, our snake.
Help! Somebody!
That's not how snakes behave? But oh look, she's okay now. The audience are then grown back to normal size. Yay. And the dog. I really do have great memories of this attraction, but if you look at it like I just have, it's just an excuse for a bunch of scenes to poke you in the eye. But it was great to be able to see Rick Moranis on the big screen, so it's a shame that the show is no longer available at any of the parks. Do you miss Honey, I Shrunk the Audience as well, jerk?
Oh, no, I got tired of it really fast. I'm just looking longingly at the Captain EO sign.
Okay, I'll just give you a minute to do that. So what about other 3D shows?
Like Star Tours?
No.
You're damn right, no. Now go watch my review.
Let's move it across to Disney's Animal Kingdom, and It's Tough to Be a Bug, a 3D film based on the forgettable Pixar flick A Bug's Life. See what I did there? Flick? I'm awesome. It's Tough to Be a Bug is situated by the iconic Tree of Life, and it suffers from the same issues that stop Honey, I Shrunk the Audience from being a really great show. It's again presented as if it's a stage show, with Flick introducing us to insects and how they defend themselves. This of course means we have a variety of 3D jump scares as well as unnecessary movie references.
I'll be back.
What does save the show from being forgettable though is its use of animatronics, including the grasshopper bad guy from the movie, as well as spiders hanging down from the ceiling and even Flick himself. The theatre also makes great use of back pokers, which always gets a great reaction from the audience. The main reason I think It's Tough to Be a Bug suffers is because it's targeted too much towards kids, so it somewhat alienates adults. You may disagree, but despite one hint towards saying shit,
Shoulder highway!
there is no real humour in there for adults to enjoy. It's all farting and spitting. The animatronic grasshopper is great, but like Honey, I Shrunk the Audience, the show is just a weak series of eye-stabbing moments.
Like this? Ooh, look at the touchy, the touchy, 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 Luli, I'm annoying you. You, not me, it's you. The camera operator is very embarrassed by me at this point.
Next up, located at Universal Studios this time, is Shrek 4D, and oddly on DVD, making the show redundant, but anyway, I digress. Shrek 4D is set after the first, but before the second, so Shrek 1.5 if you will. It starts with Shrek, Fiona and Donkey right after the wedding. Okay, first of all, why is Donkey there with them?
Because he's an audience favorite. Isn't that right, aren't you, Don?
I feel like I'm an audience favorite. Thank you so much for actually acknowledging that. You know, a lot of people don't even acknowledge that, and it upsets me, man. But the fact that you did makes me so happy. I tell you, I can jump around. But that guy's asking for something. The studio, so apparently, I don't know what happened. Apparently, he thought you worked here.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what's up. Maybe he just thought you were early for the Harry Potter thing with the Merlin stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, I get mistaken for Hagrid.
I had a feeling, man. I didn't want to say nothing, but you know, there's that.
Mike,
Chip?
how dare you doubt Donkey?
Yeah.
You're a bigger jackass than the jackass.
Oh, man. Wow, that's rough. That is really rough. How do you know my first and last name, by the way?
Jackass?
I say nothing, man. I say nothing.
I'm sorry.
All right, that's cool. Keep it real.
You too.
Bye. I love you. See, that's what I'm talking about. Don't get loving.
What the fuck just happened? And once again we have unnecessary eye-jabbing. It's the clever, subtle use of 3D which is when it's so effective. Terminator 2 Battle Across Time is an example of how it can be used well. Yes, there are eye pokes, but it's fitting with the story. Even Muppets 4D, another good show, has examples of unnecessary eye gouging. Some people may be able to forgive eye gouging in theme park shows because the point of them is to shock and get people excited, which is why it confuses me when 3D features do the same. Stop wasting time jabbing people and integrate it in with the storytelling. That's why Avatar's 3D was so well received, because it isn't theme park 3D. Which is also why Terminator 2 3D is so good.
But sadly not good enough for Hollywood anymore. It's gone now, forever. And it won't be back. Now how's Arnold Schwarzenegger supposed to be famous in California?
Shrek 4D follows Shrek and Donkey as they set off to rescue Fiona, who has been kidnapped by Farquhar's ghost. There are some laughs to be had and not too many pop culture references, but there are many nods to the first, and in all honesty I found the 3D to be quite weak. We do have another penis joke in there though.
Well, looks like Farquaad's still trying to compensate for something. I wonder what that could be.
Yay, penis! It also confuses me that they released the show on DVD packaged with the first movie. Way to kill all incentive for people to visit your parks to see it. Good call. I know they're not perfect, but all the shows are worth catching at the parks. With the exception of Jimmy Neutron and Honey, I Shrunk the Audience, of course. And come to think of it, Captain EO is soon going to close. Shrek 4D has an impressive pre-show, so while you may have already seen the show, it's worth the queue just for that alone, even if it doesn't really tie into the story. It's Tough to Be a Bug has some great animatronics, and it uses back pokers very effectively. But the show which uses all of these features, as well as live actors, is Terminator 2 3D. For me, it is everything and more I could ask for in a 3D show, and it's great to finally be able to see more of the Skynet-dominated future from the first and second movies. And yes, I'm pretending that Terminator Salvation doesn't exist. And you will no doubt be saying, super, for a long time afterwards. And then there is Mickey's PhilharMagic, a wonderful celebration of music and all things Disney, an attraction which often makes its way into people's top 10s. When done right, 3D attractions can be great. They can be immersive, highly themed, and even be a fun continuation of their source material. Or pretty pointless, but whatever. Regardless of whether the story is any good, you will usually come out of the theatre smiling, which I guess is the whole point of visiting a theme park in the first place. So despite what I have just said throughout this video, I have to say that if you're ever visiting Florida or California and have the opportunity to go to these theme parks, I definitely recommend that you check out all of these 3D films. They may not be works of art, but you can have a bloody good time.
Wait. After complaining all that time about how they're not very good, you conclude that you still like them anyway?
Yes.
So what the hell was the point of this video?
I just wanted to get you to ride It's a Small World.
You son of a...
Don't you have somebody to kill?
Yeah, I guess. I'll go back to Florida and ride Mission Space.
Bye, some jerk with a camera.
Bye.
And it doesn't always end up being a good film turned into a bad ride. It can be a good ride turned into a bad film.
I'm going to wait 10 whole minutes on a line for It's a Small World just to get a scene for Mike J that is exactly one syllable long. I would not do this for anyone who was not on Channel Awesome.